Hello traders, it's Graham here from Kilted Trading, back with you for another week of looking at some charts. Last week I said I would look at Bitcoin and didn't, so we will have a look at Bitcoin and also Ethereum. And we've also been getting a few requests in terms of how to add indicators to our charts for those who are new to TradingView. So we'll take you through all of that, so stay tuned. Okay, let's have a look at Bitcoin. So everyone is talking about Bitcoin at the moment. Obviously last week we talked about Bitcoin and how we set up our automated trading. So we can see here from the daily chart, we have this massive downtrend at the moment. So I'm not taking any long positions with 3 commas. The bot's actually switched off. However, what we can do is look at taking some trades if we wanted to, short or long, outside of our automated trading. So we did say we'd have a look at Bitcoin, so let's have a look at how we break things down, and we will do that together. So we've seen this large downtrend here on the Kilted Trend Pilot. What I'd like to do sometimes is look at just a naked chart, zero indicator, guys, on this one. And what I'd like to do is pick out the levels. So there's some key levels here where, we've come down to this area, what we'll call the demand zone, and then we've shot away from it and then come back down, retested it, then broke through it. So it's all about picking your levels. What I like to do with the Kilted Trend Pilot a lot of the time is use that just as a general guide for direction, and then start to break things down a little bit. Just one call out I'd like to make here. One person I've actually followed recently is a guy by the name of Sarid Harper. Sarid does a fantastic job of identifying what he calls supply and demand zones, and that really has made a difference to my trading, especially in Forex, looking for these key zones. He's been privy to a lot of institutional type traders and what they focus on. So I encourage you guys to have a look at some of Sarid's content. It is excellent, and particularly works particularly well with some of the things that we use at Kilted Trading. So I'll put the link to some of Sarid's content at the bottom. I think everyone will take some value from that. But back to Bitcoin, it's looking at supply and demand zone. So I have predicted for quite some time that I think that we'll come back to some of these what we'll call demand zones down here. I was calling as low as 28,500 on a few Discord channels. I still think we're sort of headed there. It's still looking a bit weak. If we look at the pattern here, I'm seeing basically a downtrend and a pennant flag here to the downside. So we've pushed down here, we're sort of in the pullback zone here, and then I'm looking for this move down. So what I'd like to do is I've got another chart here. It's just some moving averages. We'll blow this up a little bit so we can do some further analysis on this one. So we can see here the lines. TradingView is fantastic. What it does is any lines drawn on the chart, when you go to the lower time frame, in this case a 4-hour chart, you can see those same lines. So you can see here we're moving. This is our downtrend and our pennant flag here. What I'm looking at is specifically a break to the downside or a break to the upside. Obviously here I'm looking at a break to the downside. It will probably have some trouble getting through this zone. We can see here it's bounced straight up from this zone and twice again. So I think we're coming down to sort of retest this level. So I'm looking for a break of this level. What we're likely to see, the way things are going at the moment, is something like this. We'll just draw this out for you. Is maybe something like this, and we're looking to break that zone. Probably down here we take profit 1 and then break this zone, and then we're down here back down to this sort of 33,000, and I'm looking to actually take it lower as well. So we can see here lower high here. We're still punching higher lows here. so no particular sort of easy trade here to take. I'm looking for a break either to the upside here, which would be path of least resistance. If it gets through this level here, you can see this is a daily. These levels here are moving averages, and this is a daily 20 EMA. So I think if it pushes through there, we're going to push to the upside. Path of least resistance there. We can also break to the downside. Obviously, I'm looking for that because I'm playing the pattern of a downtrend pennant flag. So I'm looking for a move south. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Okay, next up we will have a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum is admittedly a little bit more interesting. So again, we'll start off with the Kilted Trend Pilot. We are trending down. We've had this sort of pullback here. So none of the bots, my bots, are actually taking long positions at the moment because we've got this downtrend. We haven't got anything lined up. So what I like to do, similar to Bitcoin, exact same process, no different. What I've drawn here though is something that's probably a little bit more interesting. So if we zone in on this, what I've drawn here is, now this is an Andrews, what we call a pitchfork. There's various versions of this. I'm just using the basic one, the pitchfork. And what I'm looking to do is actually spot some key levels. So what I've done is I've drawn this line, this trend line here. You can see we broke it, retested it, and then went away from this level, came up, sort of got close, came back, pulled back. So it's this level here has been quite a key level, and then I've lined that up with some of our key sort of support resistance zones here, and then we've had a look at zoning in a little bit closer, which is a trend line here. If we just zone out, so this is a bigger picture. This is our daily I guess chart with zero indicators, just this sort of pitchfork to get some levels lined up for me. So if we zone out again on this one and zone in on the 4-hour chart here, I picked up on something that's quite interesting. So if we look at the 4-hour chart, we'll just zone in on this as well. And we'll get this levels here, so we'll get all the indicators sort of off. So I've got here some Bollinger Bands. You can see here this middle, the medium sort of Bollinger Band line. But what was more interesting for me was basically the setup that's presenting at the moment. So we're on a 4-hour chart here, and we can see here we've had a bit of a double top here. We couldn't push through this level. We've got this what we'll call dynamic support line, which we seem to have been following quite nicely. However, what I did pick up on, and I'm always looking for patterns or reversals. So one of the systems, now we've got some moving averages here, specific moving averages from Bill Williams, for those who are familiar with the alligator indicator. It's just a series of moving averages, but what Bill's trying to do is basically identify the change of trend and get in early or go with the trend. So trading chaos, trading the chaos theory by Bill Williams. I encourage you all to have a look at that book. It's an excellent read, and pretty much all of his methods are still hold true today in the market. So if we look at this one, what I'm looking for here is a bit of a trend reversal. We've got this pullback in place we saw from the daily chart. We've got the two highs here, and we couldn't push through that, and we can see here we've got this lower high, which is this one here, this fractal here. And what we're looking for is basically a change of trend. So we've got this uptrend, which is our pullback effectively, and what we're looking to identify is an area to get in short. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for at the moment. So on the 4-hour chart, what I saw presenting quite nicely, and if we can draw it out, is basically a head and shoulders pattern. So we've got this reversal pattern that's starting to play out a little bit. You can see the moving averages are sort of tied together here, so we're in this sort of range, but I'm looking for this change of trend to the downside. So what I identified, which I'll just draw out for you guys, it stands out for me like a sore thumb, but sometimes for the trained eye, if you're not looking at charts, we've got what we call a head and shoulders pattern, which is a classic reversal pattern. So once you see something like this, and you're looking to basically spot a reversal pattern, something like this just helps you get confirmation of what you're looking for is correct. However, with that being said, what I'm looking for is confirmation. So I'm not looking to jump in short. You can see the alligator is quite, the moving average lines are quite tight here, which means we're moving in a sideways direction. What I'm looking for, if I was going short, would be something like this. So what we're looking at is we've got two fractals here, so I'm not going to go into too much detail on fractals, but if you guys do some research, maybe that's some homework for you guys. What I'm looking for is on the head and shoulders pattern, we're really looking for this break before this, what they call the neckline. So once this is broken, what we're looking to do is basically proof the actual take profit line. So if you look at, normally you would basically say, okay, that's the forecasted move, and if we proof that down to here, lo and behold, we've got our level here, which is our weekly 20. We can see here this was a key level. We came down, tested it, retested it, then zoomed up. So what I'm looking for is basically a trade, and the way I'll be trading this is stop loss will be here just above the right shoulder, and take profit will be down here. So I'll be just taking something just short of this sort of line here. We're not looking to be too greedy in this case. Now, the fact that we've actually had this pullback here, we can be a little bit more aggressive, which I will probably do. Once I see something reversing here and the candle closed down below here and heading south, what I'll maybe do, depending on how this sort of plays out, I might actually take my stop loss either here or just above the actual point of breakthrough, because you can see here it's sort of gone down, tested it, and then it's gone up, and then we're looking for it to pull back. So that would be quite a nice risk to reward ratio there. You can see that could be a 3-to-1er, depending on how this sort of plays out, but it's looking quite weak here. So this is something I would look at if I was looking to go short. So I hope that helps a few folks. But effectively, you've got a couple of things going on here. You've got this trend line on a pullback. You've got an inverse head and shoulders, a head and shoulders, which is a classic reversal pattern. If we're looking to trade Bill Williams method here, you'd be looking for basically a break of this fractal, which would be further confirmation, because that would be once this turns around, you would see the alligator opening up like this, and you'd be taking the trade somewhere like below here. So yeah, hopefully that helps out a few folks who are trading Ethereum, but I'm certainly seeing further weakness before I'm looking bullish. Okay, we said we'd help out a few people who are looking to get the Kilted Trend Pilot on their chart. What we'll do is very quickly show you how to do this. It doesn't matter, we've obviously got the Kilted Trend Pilot here, but what we'll do is we'll set a brand new chart. Doesn't matter what you've got in your chart, we'll start from scratch. It's really, really simple. So what we do is, regardless of what you got in your chart, you basically open up this little arrow here, and we get some options, click on new chart layout. Simple as this, guys. You get the default which TradingView gives you, especially for you guys on the free version, and you only get so many charts, you only get so many sort of indicators on the one chart. So what we'll do is, first of all, with the default version, you've got the green candles for up, down candles for red. I tend to change that because I'm colorblind. However, what we'll do is we'll delete that one, And then what we'll do is we'll add the Kilted Trend Pilot. So for those of you who have got it, you obviously know how to add it. But for those who are looking to trial it, click on this little icon here, which is our indicators and strategies. All you need to do is come down here for your invite only scripts. And we'll see here, you should have, perhaps not as many as what I have, but you'll have the Kilted Trend Pilot here. All you do is click it once, it appears on the chart. It is that simple, guys. Really, really simple. And what it does is it obviously shows you how good this indicator is. We're not going to go through any of this again though. We've covered this at length before. What I will say, guys, is get this on your charts. It is really, really good when you combine it with Sarid's supply and demand zones that I pointed out earlier. I will have a link to some of Sarid's content. When you couple it with the Kilted Trend Pilot, it is very, very good. So we're still in lockdown here in Melbourne. Just thought I'd cut a very quick video for you guys this week to help out those who are looking at maybe setting up some automation and looking at getting the Kilted Trend Pilot on your chart. So hopefully this has been a useful session today, and as always, keep safe, look after your families, and speak again soon. Thanks for listening.